Sundays, also known as the day of the hangover. The day when you lay down and regret everything that you done the night before and pretty much don't do anything productive for the whole day. And then pretty much demolish everything that you can see in sight. Pizza, burgers, everything. Which is far from ideal if you want to get in shape and have a productive day. Moving on from all that, not to sound like a Gary Vee or anybody else like that, but here's how I normally set up my Sundays to make it as productive as possible. First thing, up relatively early, slight lay-in, so around about 7:30, 8 o'clock. And yes, I do absolutely pop my pants when the alarm goes off, jump straight out of bed, open the curtains to get some light in the room. Next, one thing everybody should be doing is making their bed as soon as they get up. I heard a quote once saying, if you can't simply make your bed in the morning, how do you expect to run a business, be successful in life or anything else? So I'll stand by that. Next, splash my face with freezing cold water, wake myself up, quick trip to the toilet, as you do. Hey, we're all human. Anyway, next, black book, so a little journal. I write down 3 things that I'm grateful for today, and then a little additional bit of inspiration or anything I feel like adding. Next, I always drink at least a bottle of water as soon as I wake up, just to hydrate the system. So now I'm going to leave you with this guy who really needs to shave his tash.
Productive Sundays. So, showed you my morning routine. Just kind of what I do most days anyway. But yeah, I showed you my morning routine, what I kind of do. It sets me up for the day a little bit, wakes me up, gets me in a productive mindset, just getting things done nice and early. Especially the diary is a good thing to do. So if you haven't started a diary or anything like that, definitely start it. I found it kind of took its time to actually feel like it was working. I did it, there was a 6-minute diary. I think it was Chris Will from the Modern Wisdom podcast who kind of got me into that. I did that for about 6 months, kind of on or off, didn't really stick to it, and then I finished the full book. I think, I can't remember how many pages it is that you have. It's roughly 6 months, I think. Then once you finish that, I just bought my own little black book, and I've been doing that since about June, July maybe. And then like the productivity's just picked up from there. So definitely do it. Try and stay consistent with it. I know the 6-minute diary tells you to do stuff in the morning, at night time. I found that when I was doing the night time, when I was just writing like random stuff just to get it done because I want to get to bed. So I just stuck to the morning one and it's worked really well. But anyway, Productive Sunday continues. So I'm going to be editing last week's YouTube video today, because I do all my editing on the Sunday, put the video out at night time. So little tip, get yourself away from where you usually do your work or your home. So today's Sunday is my day off normally, so I would just be stuck in the house rather than sit on the sofa or sit on the table somewhere in the house doing work. Get myself into somewhere different, so head to Starbucks, have a pot of Earl Grey and get some work done. So I'll see you in a little bit. Right, back. Done about 2 hours, maybe a bit longer, of work there. So editing last week's YouTube video. Got that all sorted, ready to go on later tonight. About 11:45, so I'm gonna head back. God, I need to shave. That's not good. Yeah, gonna head back home. Gonna be training in the home gym today. Haven't trained there for a while actually, for a month nearly now. Gonna get a lower body focus session in. Oh god. Wake up. Get a lower body session in. I'll walk through that on camera. Need a coffee in the system. Wake myself up. Wake up son, come on. Yummy, yummy. Right, back in the home gym. It is fucking freezing. Anybody else who's got a home gym? And I had a conversation with Joe Gray saying, like, it's just ridiculous. I know he's actually started training at the normal gym now, but in the winter, man, it's cold. That's why you get one of these and a radiator. Don't even know if that was on focus, but yeah, going to be doing lower body day. Slightly change my split up. I'm always changing things up. I just get bored too easily. So change things up. Going to be doing a lower body focus day. Because now I'm back playing football. Yesterday obviously we would have the game, and then I'm just going to try and get through a leg day straight after, get out of the way, so my legs can kind of recover for the next week of football, training, games. So yeah, but it's going to be majority of my leg days are going to be focused on posterior chain just to save my knees. I've had a lot of chronic knee pain in the past, tendonitis I was out injured for quite a long time with, so my training's kind of tailored towards that, a little bit more posterior chain focused and a little bit of rehab stuff as well on the knees. So take you through today, gonna get warm, gonna start on hip thrusts, a bit deadlift, some single leg work, hamstring work, but we'll get into it. So you probably see me there So you probably see me do then 2 wall exercises a few times. I know a previous video, or 2 or 3 previous videos, I'll put the actual full routine in with the description. So first exercise, greater stretch. Just open up the thoracic spine, so getting a bit of mobility going. Loosen up the hip flexors, glutes, hamstrings, everything. So especially if you've been sat down for a long period of time, like I was just before doing a bit of work, or you run off this job, this just opens everything up, gets everything nice and loose, so minimises injury. And then hamstring workouts, or I think they're called inchworms, if I remember right. Just again, stretch off the hamstrings, lower back, get the core firing as well, a little bit with the walkout. All around great warm. So then 2 exercises, run through them. If you need to run through them twice to get yourself nice and loose. 5 reps on each, so 5 reps either side on the greater stretch for the rotation, and then 5 inchworms. So last little warm exercise, going to be using the band, so we're going to be doing lateral band crab walks. So I will run through this again in another video. Just get the glute medius muscle activated, glutes warm, which will help stabilise not only the hip, the knee, and help with a little bit of lower back pain. So yeah, it's got a little bit of carryover into the next exercises which we're doing. So I like to do like 1 or 2 sets to 20 reps either side, just literally until your glutes are burning and you can't walk anymore. So get to this. Snapped. Got another band now. Right, so hip thrust next. Just going to be warming up, building up. So this week I think I'm on a 3 plus rep max, so I'm doing the 5-3-1 program, but just with hip thrusts instead of squats really, so I'm still going to do deadlift. Anyway, warming up, planks for hip thrusts. It's a little bit awkward at my home gym because I don't really have a bench that's the right height, so you want to line the bench up so when you're in this top position, it's roughly in line with your shins. So how normally, a good rule of thumb is however high your shins bone is, that's how high you want the bench. So at the top position, you're literally just like a tabletop. So you want to rest almost your upper to middle back on the bench. I like to find a bench that is on a slight decline. I just find it a little bit more comfortable on the shoulders.
If you have a bench that's a little bit harder, put a mat there. So like I've got a decline bench, but I've had to put a block there just to line it up perfectly. So set the bar up. It's ideal if you have bigger bumper plates. If you don't have them, just get a little platform or a little box just to raise it up to start with. You're going to slide the bar in. Also use one of these if you have them. Wrap them around the bar, just slot it in there. If you don't, you can also use a mat. Just works just as well. These are just a little bit more comfortable, I guess, and a little bit less hassle with all the mats. Place this on the bar. Put the bar on, slide the bar in as high as you can. Then what you want to do, just shuffle down a little bit. Bring your heels in as much as you can until you're in a position where at the top you would be at 90 degrees. So hopefully I'm in a good position here. Feels about right. In terms of leg position, I like to go about shoulder width. The same stance you would for squats, same stance as you would standing normally, whatever it is your natural position. I like to put a lot of the weight through the heels, so sometimes I tell people to lift their toes up if they're not used to that cue. So to start off, I lift my toes up, make sure the knees are directly over my ankles so they're not caving in, they're not too far out. Grab and hold the bar as wide as you can. Before you even lift off, I want you to consciously think about engaging your glutes. So if you're struggling to engage your glutes at the bottom position, you might need to lighten the load or just start on a higher platform, so put a few blocks on until you can get that position. Just because we want the muscles that we want to work, so the glutes, the hamstrings, to actually working for the full range of motion. If not, it can lead to kind of lower back injuries, other muscles taking over, which we don't want. So before you even lift off, engage the glutes, just push down into the floor through your heels. I like to say tuck your pelvis under, which is why we do the exercises like dead bugs and Superman beforehand to set that position right. So heels into the ground, drive up, little pause at the top, full extension, control the back down, and drive up. Back down, drive up. A lot of people as well want to do this. They let the back stay back around here, and it's all lower back movement. We want the spine to let you stay neutral the whole time, so we're rocking back and forward like this. So we let ourselves drop down, chin's tucked in, drive through the heels to the top position, and back down. Drive up, back down. Now I don't mind if the bar does hit the floor on these, especially if you just learn the movement. So you reset yourself, engage the glutes, push through the heels, drive up, pause at the top. But once you kind of build up strength, you can hold in that bottom position to keep constant tension on the muscle. Drop down. So we're just going to warm up, build up the reps nice and slowly until we hit a nice heavy top set. Right, so we've built up to a nice top set. So we did 140 for 5, 155 for 3, and now we're on to our max rep set. I think it's 95% of rep max for max reps, so I'll be happy with 4. That's the goal. Right, so next up we're going to be doing some barbell deadlifts. I haven't done these in a long time, to be fair, so a few pointers that I see a lot of people do wrong on deadlifts. First thing, the start position, so I see people have the bar too far in front of them or too close to them. So I like to tell people, you want to stand, if you look at your shoelaces on your trainers, roughly around like the bottom shoelace, so this bit on your shoe here, that's where roughly you want the bar to be placed when you're looking directly down. So Feet around shoulder width apart, toes pointing directly forward, bars hanging over the shoelace area. First thing is another pointer as well. I see a lot of people doing this with bars when they're about to lift off from the bar. So you want the bar to be in a fixed position and you're moving yourself around the bar. So no rolling, the bar stays completely still until you lift it up. So you want to drop down, slight bend in the knee. This is more of a hip hinge movement, so you want to push your hips back as far as you can. Keep the back as flat, as straight as possible, so just imagine your back's as stiff as possible as well. And then the same thing I talked about with that pelvic tilt. So I'm going to tuck that pelvis under. This will just stop the lower back from straining and also get the hamstrings activated a lot more. So if you posteriorly tilt your pelvis, so stick your bum out, your hamstring's actually going to lengthen. And what that means is it's not as short as possible, so it can't activate as best as possible. So you're going to tuck that pelvis under, drop down as low as you can. Like I said, slight bend in the knee. It's more of a hip hinge movement, so hips shooting back, pelvis tucked under, back nice and straight. Tuck the chin in. Going to grab the bar just wider than shoulder width, so just let your hands naturally hang, and that's where they're going to be. Another cue I like to do is push your knees out against your hands, so this will get your glutes firing as soon as possible, and that will help you massively when you're pushing up. So pelvic tilt, drop down, back nice and straight, chin tucked, grab the bar, push your hands outwards, slightly lean back so the weight's on the heels, and then I like to tell people push the ground away. So push and drive up. So from the lift off point, once you lift up, this is when you're extending the knees. Once it's past the knees, you're extending the hips through, standing nice and tall. One final point as well, I hear people say, pull your shoulder blades back. That's not what you want to do. You want to pull your shoulder blades down, rather than, it's just not a natural position to pull the shoulder blades back on this. So what you want to think about is almost engaging the lat. So as soon as you squeeze those shoulder blades down, you'll feel the lat activate straight away. So again, drop down, chin tucked, pelvis tucked, knees pushing outwards, and drive up. One final thing, I keep saying one final thing, but last cue as well. So a lot of people jerk the movement up straight away. So they're in this position, and they just lift the weight up straight away. So what I want you to do is literally just take the weight of the bar, so you'll hear this, that little click, you hear it? That's what I want you to do before you lift off. So a nice strong position, lift the weight, and then drive up. So just jerking the movement so you've got from a complete relaxed position, and then driving up, that's when you're going to get injured. And on the way down, depending on your goal, if you're going for more strength and power, you don't have to be as controlled on the way down. So I don't mind if the weight drops, but under control. Whereas if you're going for a more hypertrophy perspective, there is a higher risk element in it. So you've got to be nice and control the way down, and you might just have to drop the weight a little bit. So we're just going to warm up. I think there's only 50 kilograms on the bar. So nice foot placement, drop down, pelvis tucked, hips back, hands in the right grip. Lean back, lats engaged, and drive up. Easy enough. So on this we're going to be building the weight up. Going to be doing sets of 4. I'm going to take it easy because it's the first time that I've ever done these in a long time. So I'm going to build up to a nice weight for a set of 4. We'll build the weight up and get some sets in. gonna try and touch. Oh! Yeah, coming on video.
Sorry.
You gotta say hello now.
Hello! Shit. Right.
You're on. You made it now. You're on. So that's a little leg workout complete. Nothing too drastic. Just like I said, building on a little bit of strength, a little bit of rehab work, and then some hamstring strength and stretching at the end. So I've hardly ate anything today. I've only had that porridge. So I think big man, you want to come on camera before, he's going to be making up a Sunday dinner, I think. So we'll have a little snack now, nothing too much. Save yourself for the Sunday dinner. Forgot to mention as well, intra workout. So I normally have an intra workout, roughly around 30 grams of highly brown acidic dextrin, which is just a quick acting carb source, about 20 grams of essential amino acids. I especially have them when I'm fasted or I know I'm not going to eat for a long period of time. They aren't actually really essential if you get enough protein throughout the day, or if you've had a good protein meal before and you're going to get one after. But I just like the taste of it, for one, watermelon flavour, and two, it just kind of covers my back when I'm taking long run my sessions like I am today. So the more anabolic state we can be in, the better really. So decreases the chance of us being in a catabolic state, or minimises it anyway. But yeah, gonna go get a little bit of a snack and then probably see you at the Sunday dinner. See what the big man's whopped up for us. Whopped? Who says whopped? I don't know. Anyway, see you in a bit. Yingy. Scottish football. Post workout. Tuna, rice and spinach. And a kiwi. Whoa. What's he cooking up? Struggling there.
Nah. Fucking great.
Alright?
Oh, that's hot.
This hot.
How much food is he on?
Two days.
Oh.
Don't mess around me, man.
Round one. Horse rhythm number 2. Finishing off the day with Big Waz's soup. Homemade soup. Sweet chili chicken. This is evidence of domestic abuse.
Come on. I'm so hungry. You're gonna be like to put it on.
Go on, eat your cereal. Love Island finals.
Shut up.
It's like a little box.
Our final 4 couples.
Right, anyway, Love Island Tom. Bye.